Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between lush green hills, there lived a young boy named Tim. Tim was a curious and adventurous lad who loved to explore the world around him. He spent his days playing in the fields, climbing trees, and chasing butterflies. One sunny morning, Tim's grandfather called him over to sit beside him under the old oak tree in their garden. Tim eagerly skipped over, wondering what his grandfather wanted to tell him. "Tim," his grandfather began, "I want to share with you a story about the value of time." Tim listened intently as his grandfather began his tale. Long ago, there was a kingdom ruled by a wise and just king. This king was beloved by all his subjects, and his kingdom prospered under his rule. One day, the king decided to host a grand contest to find the worthiest person in the kingdom to serve as his advisor. The king announced that whoever could bring him the most valuable thing in the world would be chosen as his advisor. People from far and wide traveled to the kingdom, bringing treasures and riches in hopes of winning the coveted position. Among the contestants was a poor farmer named Jacob. He had heard of the king's contest and decided to participate despite his humble circumstances. Jacob didn't have gold or jewels to offer, but he believed he had something valuable to share. As the day of the contest arrived, the courtyard of the palace was filled with people displaying their treasures. The king sat on his throne, observing each presentation with keen interest. One by one, the contestants came forward, presenting their offerings to the king. There were dazzling jewels, rare artifacts, and exotic animals from distant lands. But none of them seemed to impress the king. Finally, it was Jacob's turn. He approached the throne with a simple wooden box in his hands. The crowd murmured in disbelief at the farmer's audacity to present something so ordinary. "What do you have to offer, farmer?" the king asked, raising an eyebrow. Jacob opened the box, revealing nothing but a handful of sand. "This is the most valuable thing in the world, Your Majesty," Jacob said confidently. The king chuckled, amused by the farmer's claim. "Explain yourself, Jacob. How can a handful of sand be the most valuable thing in the world?" "Your Majesty," Jacob began, "this sand represents time. Time is the most precious resource we have. It cannot be bought or traded. Once it slips through our fingers, it is gone forever." The king nodded thoughtfully, intrigued by Jacob's wisdom. He realized that the farmer was right, time was indeed invaluable. Impressed by Jacob's insight, the king declared him the winner of the contest and appointed him as his advisor. From that day on, Jacob served the king with wisdom and humility, always reminding him of the value of time. Tim listened intently to his grandfather's story, his eyes wide with wonder. "So you see, Tim," his grandfather concluded, "time is the most valuable thing we have. It's important to use it wisely and cherish every moment." Tim nodded, understanding the lesson his grandfather had taught him. From that day on, he vowed to make the most of his time, never taking a single moment for granted. And as he grew older, he too became known for his wisdom and his appreciation for the value of time. Thank you for watching this video.